Let's get this show on the road as Coach Joe is getting fired up, as always. Hey, there we are. Joe, take that elevator up. It's a nail biter, and nobody gets more into it than Red. This show is no throwaway. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. And the winter season is over. We have a couple of basketball games to show everybody, and then a review show, a little hiatus, and then boom, spring sports in a couple of weeks.
No hiatus. We're just going to move right into spring. Spring is right around the corner, just 2 weeks away from, 2.5 weeks, I guess, away from baseball, softball, tennis opener. A couple of basketball games to wrap up this week, and then we'll do the review show of the winter season next week, and then right on into spring.
It's always exciting. I know tryouts are next week for everybody. I think the baseball team's in the gym already this week. They're allowed to, over break, to get a little practice in, so they're throwing the ball around.
They are a little bit of optional time in the gym each afternoon this week, and everybody's excited for spring, but we got some business to take care of to finish up the winter season. First, talking about the boys basketball team, the Cardinals opened the section tournament on Wednesday last week with a short bus ride for a border battle in Andover. Cardinals and the Huskies split the season series with each team winning on their home floor. Andover was the favorite because they had the higher seed, the home court, and had won the more recent meeting. But everyone expected it to be close, and it went all the way to the final buzzer. Huskies started quickly and looked like they might be able to run away with this one early. Connor Knopfle hits the jumper to start the scoring. Those were his only points in the first half, but he was a great decoy the rest of the way. Draws the defense, finds Peyton Awney in the corner for the three-pointer. It was the perimeter shooting that helped Andover really open up their lead. Knopfle again, this time to Colin Hartle on the wing. The Huskies hit 6 three-pointers in the first half and led by 14 at the break. Cardinals defense sparks the comeback in the second half. Reese Mon with the steal gets it ahead for Marcel Winston. He'll take it strong to the rim and score. Half-court offense working better in the second half for the Cardinals also. Marshall Holland in the post gets it to Winston at the back door. He scores again. Lead down to 4 at that point. Next possession, it's Sean Smith finding a way around the defense to the baseline for the basket. Jelly Dog and Marshall Holland each had a team-high 14 points. Just over a minute left, another steal, this time Elijah McGrath. He's going the other way with speed. He'll go right through the contact, score to tie the game at 50. Coon Rapids did not have a lead in this game until the final 30 seconds. That's when Winston finds a lane, drives, and lays it home. The bench on their feet, feeling the upset. One last chance for Andover, trailing by 2 in the final seconds. Knopfle tries to feed Mason Heath on the baseline, but it's through his legs and out of bounds. And the Cardinals pull off the dramatic come-from-behind upset. That's 2 years in a row, Howie, that they have had a last-minute win in a section semifinal game and been able to celebrate on the floor. Of course, last year we saw 2 baskets and the lead change hands twice in the final 10 seconds, which was amazing. But that game, that was the Cardinals' first section win in 7 seasons. Yeah, they did it again this year.
Yeah, they did. And, you know, we can talk about, we'll maybe talk more about it in the review show, but coming into the season, they really didn't know what kind of team they would have. And I think they had a nice season, and certainly that win over Andover in the sections was huge for this program. The difference in attitude and manner in Coach O at halftime of that game versus at the end of the game was incredible, because they're down by 14 points at the break. They've been in that situation before this year and able to come back and get the win. What a nice win for them.
Trust me, that will be the gist of the review, is that coming in, we didn't know what to expect. Really, you only had Marcel Winston. He was the only guy that got significant playing time on last year's team that did so much. You didn't know what to expect, and I think they blew everybody's expectations out of the water, and it was a whole lot of fun, and that got them into the semifinal round.
Well, on Saturday, the Cardinals traveled up north to meet the top-seeded Forest Lake at the neutral site for the semifinals at Chisago Lakes High School. The two teams met in the season opener with the Rangers nipping the Cardinals in a tight 2-point game that went down to the last shot. Forest Lake earned the number 1 seed with a 16-10 record, but as last year's run by 7-seeded the Huskies proved, this is a wide-open section. Anybody can win on any given night. Cardinals getting the fast start this time and doing damage from the perimeter. Marshall Holland reigns in this three-pointer that gave Coon Rapids an early 5-0 edge. After a Rangers spurt, the Cardinals have to come back. Great movement. Excellent pass from Holland to Elijah McGrath alone underneath. Game is tied at 15. Now this is back and forth battle in the first. Rangers getting the big 3 off the inbound from Manny Jingo. That put Forest Lake back in front by 2. Cardinals trailing late in the half, but take advantage of a sloppy pass. Zach Hussein with the turnover, heads up court, feeds Braden Farley down low. He scores, plus the foul. It was tight at that point, but Forest Lake was up 4 at the break. A little different story in the second as the Rangers start to take charge. Quick passing to down court to find Cooper Berg in the corner. He hits that 3 and pushes the lead to double digits. Forest Lake attacking again. Berg alone in the corner, hits another 3. Part of a monster 30-point effort for him. The Rangers never look back. They end the Cardinals season with a 74-58 loss in the section semifinal.
Yeah, and again, you talk about the positive turnaround from half 1 to half 2 against Andover. Unfortunately, went the other way against Forest Lake. It was a tight game at the half, and Forest Lake runs away with it.
Yeah, they did, and it's an unfortunate end to a pretty good season for the Cardinals boys basketball program. And obviously, they didn't want to end that particular way. But Forest Lake's a pretty good team, and
oh, absolutely,
and
they're the number one seed for
Yep.
a reason. And there was an upset in the other section, and a convincing, a resounding upset as Blaine pummeled Cambridge Isani 62-37. To get their way to Thursday's championship game. So it'll be Forest Lake and Blaine up in Chisago, one of those teams representing Section 7 4A in the state tournament. And what I found interesting about the Forest Lake game is 3 Cardinals in double digits.
Yep.
Marshall Holland and Marcel Winston not among them.
No, it's interesting how you don't get production from your two high scorers, unfortunately, and that's a reason maybe that they couldn't get it done and they couldn't move past Forest Lake.
Well, and Forest Lake had 3 guys in double digits. You talked about 30 points from one guy. That certainly helps you open things up. They had another guy with 15 and a guy with 17. I think all 3 Cardinals in double digits, finished with 10. But it's always sad when the season comes to an end, but I think this was a step further than most expected them to be able to reach this year. I think this season as a whole came off better than most expected, and it was a fun year.
Well, some thought that this Coon Rapids team, would be the 8th seed going into the section playoffs at the beginning of the season. So to be the 5 seed, that's a big improvement.
And to get a win over a rival like Andover on their home floor.
Yeah,
is always big too.
Who just beat you by 15 about a week or so ago.
2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks ago.
Either way, yeah. So a nice finish to the season for the boys basketball team. A lot of good things happening through the winter season. We'll talk so much more about that next week on the winter review show. But it's all spring and hopefully sunshine ahead for the CTN crew. We'll be there for the baseball season opener under new head coach Matt Mossy as the Cardinals take on the Stillwater Ponies. And then baseball against Maple Grove on Tuesday the 10th. Softball, first chance to see them will be on Thursday the 12th. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us to continue to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.